Hello buddy, Insane Frame here and we're back with another special milestone video. In our last milestone video, we did Elder Scrolls Oblivion using only summons. That was a lot of fun, so in this video we'll be doing our most insane challenge yet, and we're going to a classic, which is Pokemon Generation 4. We'll go ahead and ask the question, can you beat Pokemon Diamond with a single Magikarp? Now this is a very difficult challenge as Magikarp is a less than ideal Pokemon and quite frankly terrible. Add to that, this region's champion here is an absolute powerhouse and it's just a recipe for a tough challenge. So, to give some context, to start this challenge we'll be playing as normal and then get into Jubilife City. Once in Jubilife City we'll get the Old Rod and then the first Magikarp we fish up is the one we're stuck with. This will allow us to do the rest of the game with Magikarp minus 3 trainers at the start of the game. So with all said and done, let's go over the rules. After fishing for the first time we can only use Magikarp in battle. HM Pokemon are allowed but only outside of battle, and no glitches or exploit, no cheating or modding the game's files, and items in battle are allowed, including held items. Right, with all said and done, let's get into the game. We begin by watching a news report from Jubilife TV, which is called the Red Gyarados Report. Heinz, or Dr. Heinz Doofenshmirtz, is introduced to us and we go ahead and head to the lake. We find a briefcase, there's no Perry the Platypus or Peter the Panda in sight, so Heinz does his first villainous act yet. Understandable, he breaks into the case and we go ahead and take Pokemon. We go ahead and take Piplup so our rival can have Turtwig, which will probably be the hardest Pokemon for us to battle during the run. There's a little cheeky hidden potion here and this Generous Soul gives us a free potion as well. We speak to Professor Rowan and get a Pokedex and he lets us keep the Piplup, so that is lovely. Dawn then goes ahead and gives us some Pokeballs, which is very nice of you, my dear. We then beat 3 trainers and get to Jubilife City. We beeline for the Old Rod and once we get the Old Rod, we begin fishing. We find a level 6 Magikarp and capture it, and the Pokedex is really warning us by attempting this run, saying it's the world's weakest Pokemon. No one even knows how it has managed to survive. Thanks Pokedex, that's very encouraging of you, but we have T and determination. And besides, Heinz Doofenshmirtz exists in this game, so things are certainly possible. We take a look at our Magikarp, it has a hasty nature, so increased speed, decreased defense. Not ideal, but we can sort of make it work. We also release Piplup, so we only have Magikarps. Sorry Professor Rowan, it just has to be this way, and Piplup can now be happy, as it's free. Thanks to the Old Rod, we can begin fishing, and since the wild Magikarp only use Splash, we can use all of our Splash in response, which is truly a majestic display. Once we have access to Struggle, we make sure to knock out Shinxes to improve our attack EVs where possible. We are certainly going to need them, especially later on. After every fight, we then have to return to the Pokemon Center, then expend our almighty Splash again, repeating the majestic Magikarp dance once more to knock out just one Pokemon, so this will be a very, very long process. After a few days of grinding, we managed to get to level 12, and as a result we go to Jubilife City and we managed to beat 2 level 6 Abras. We also get a TM for Hidden Power and we sell it as Magikarp cannot learn any HMs or TMs. We managed to buy some potions so our grinding gets that little bit easier. We eventually hit level 15 with a good stat boost too, and it just took under a week in real life, but we finally have an attack and move now, thank goodness. So we can now play the game normally. Heinz's parcel is delivered, giving us access to the map of the area. We meet Heinz and he wants a battle, so we end up battling. It's actually fairly close, but with a decent critical hit on our part, we take him out first try. Sorry Heinz, plans for the Tri-State area will have to wait. We get a HM from this friendly hiker containing Rock Smash, which is nice, but then we get shown to the Pokemon gym in Orimba. However, Varrock is in the mines, we go ahead and talk to him, and then he goes to his gym, so now we can challenge him. Once we hit level 25, we decide to see if we can beat him, but we don't really have any luck against him, so we're going to have to grind some more. We come back for round 2 at level 30 and we have access to the move Flare, which means the more damage we take, the more damage this move does. And these are the moves we're going to be stuck with for the whole challenge. Splash, which does nothing, Tackle and Flail, which are our only attacking moves. Geodude is up first and we take some damage and a potion is used to heal them up, but we begin using Flail for good enough damage and knock out the Geodude. Onix is up next and it gets more damage on us and we're in a tough spot, however we reach low health, so Flail does a lot more damage and it works perfectly to KO the Onix. Krandos comes out and we are at critical health, however our Flail has 200 base power, that's more than some of the best moves in the game, and with it we take out Roark's third Pokemon, meaning we beat in the first gym and he lays in defeat, which is excellent. Once back in Jubilife City, we find Professor Rowan and Dawn, also Team Galactic. We tag team with Dawn and easily win no problem. It's actually kind of funny. We get to the Valley Windworks and find a grunt guard in the entrance. He locks himself in after we beat him. Then we find his colleagues and manage to best them and get the Windworks key. We meet Miss Commander Mars and sadly we have to battle her and we manage to take the win no problem as our Magikarp is very scary with its level. It's then time we enter Eternia Forest and the music here is lovely. We meet a lady called Cheryl who wants to come with us, which is very nice. Anyway, we make it to Eternia City and meet Cynthia, the champion of this region. She gives us HM1, which has the move Cut, so we get our HM Pokemon in order. Triple King is ready, so we go for the second gym and we find all the trainers easy enough as our level is very high, so we don't even get damaged that much. However, we move on to the gym leader, Gardenia. This attempt goes weirdly decent as we get Leech Seeded, which is definitely not good, but since we got a decent crit on Turtwig, Rose Raid is kind of dangerous but manages to poison us, and I thought it was all over until we survived and Flail pretty much obliterating the Rose Raid, and yeah, it's a bit of a curveball, but there you go, we'll take what we can get. We get the second badge, allowing us to use Cut outside of battle. After the gym battle, the Team Galactic building is in our sights. Commander Jupiter is waiting for us, and it's a close battle, but she forgets our secret technique, the Triple King Flail, and her skunk tank is pretty much done. That was actually really easy. The man who we say gives us a bicycle at his shop and we're good to go. We go down Cycle Road and beat everyone in our path. On the Cycle Road, we go to Mount Cornet and see Cyrus, the main game's villain. We get to the next place and there's a contest hall. Our mother is there and she gives us a tuxedo and we just leave. Heinz Doofenshmirtz then bumps into us and duels us, so it's time to duel. Heinz shows up, he sends his Starly out as his first Pokemon. We manage to take that out no problem, but his Grottle is a problem however. But we survive on a sliver of health and Triple King's secret technique Flail just destroys Grottle. And then we manage to sweep his whole team with a Magikarp. What is actually happening? Flail was turning out to be an amazing move for us. Heinz is distraught over his loss, but don't worry Heinz, all is good. You're still the best villain ever and you've just started out. We skip over a couple of towns and we find the Psyduck blocking our way. We carry on and find ourselves in quite a rainy area. We stroll through and unfortunately we come across this trainer with a Monferno. But that's not our biggest problem. Our biggest problem is Gyarados, on my word. But we come back with a single HP and keep trying until we get a cheeky critical hit. After that battle we manage to get to Veilstone where we begin gambling. We are one lucky son of a gun as we don't even spend a single Pokédollar and manage to get over 1,000 coins so we can get the Silk Scarf for our lovely Magikarp. The Silk Scarf boosts the power of normal type moves by 20%, so that's quite a decent amount for just a little bit of luck. And then we go ahead and try the third gym. This isn't as bad as I thought it would be as we managed to grind to level 50. The trainers in the gym aren't too much of a problem, and then we get to Maylene. We try a few times and get this run. The Meta-type part goes okay, but the Machoke deals heavy damage to us. It leaves us with just 2 HP, which would normally be our doom, but we get lucky and land a critical hit on the Lucario, one-shotting it into oblivion and giving us the win. I thought that would actually be a lot harder, but there you go. But Dawn comes up to us and says Team Galactic have stolen her Pokedex. Oh, Dawn. We get the Pokedex back and learn the HM for Fly. We go to the next gym and it's run by Crash Awake, a water-type gym. So we solve the puzzle and then go ahead and challenge Mr. Wake. His Gyarados does heavy damage to us and it's looking like we'll lose. However, we are on just a little bit of health and our Flail pretty much wipes the floor with his whole team. It's actually the easiest gym thus far as it only took 2 attempts. After our victory, we follow this guy and Heinz bumps into us and he challenges us. Fair enough. Once again, we get to low health and have a repeat of what we did to Crash Awake. We just sweep Heinz's team and all is well. We continue chasing down the Galactic Grunt and after we beat him, we meet Cynthia. She gives us the secret potion and tells us to use it on the Psyducks from earlier. Once we use the secret potion, Cynthia then has a favour to ask us and she wants us to deliver a package to her grandmother in Celestic Town. We decline, but she asks us again and the game kind of forced us to do it, so okay I guess. Once we go to Celestic Town, we meet Cynthia's grandmother, a lovely lady, and we deal with a Galactic Grunt for her, and he's kind of a throwaway, but once inside she explains about the ruins and the history. She also gives us the HM for Surf, which will allow us to cross over water, but we still need a gym badge, and we have to go and beat this gym. This one is going to be the one that is definitely the most unusual and that we only know normal moves, but we do have access to healing items and we will be using our favourite move from the start of this challenge, which is Struggle. So time to exhaust some PP points against some Machops. After we expend our PP points, we head to the Ghost Gym. Thankfully, you don't have to face any trainers if you answer all the questions correctly, so this is really trivial. However, once we get to Fantina, the gym leader, she only has 3 Pokemon. However, her Drifblim here is really tanky, and we don't even stand a chance. We return at level 70, and Drifblim is up first. Its Aftermath deals heavy damage, but we heal up and we have to get a critical hit down in the second Pokemon, which is wonderful. But Gengar is last, and we use a couple of Super Potions to offset our struggle damage, and Gengar also gets healed, so we go ahead and manage to get a critical hit, ending the battle. That was extremely difficult, but at least it's done. Cynthia then spiels about Team Galactic and lets us know we can use Surf and should go west of Jubilee City. So we get to Canalave City, and upon arriving there we meet Heinz Doofenshmirtz. We face him on a bridge and we can take out his Starvia, but when it comes to his Grottle, we get our asses handed to us, so we're going to have to grind some more. We grind to level 80 and manage to tackle our way and sweep Doofenshmirtz's team, so all is good. However, the 6th gym is not so good. We managed to get to Byron, no problem, however his Pokemon are really tough and we try our best but we're just not getting through. We're going to have to grind even more, so we might as well get to level 100 at this point. Even returning at level 100, our attacks just doesn't seem to cut it, so we set up 3 X attacks up in our attack enough so we can take out Bronzor without much trouble. Steelix is next and is not really a threat, and Byron has used his last potion on Steelix, which is amazing. We then flail our way to victory whilst taking enough damage to make use of Flail's increased power and knock out Steelix. Now it's time to take out Bastiodon, and he is the absolute tankiest of tanks. His defences are extremely high, however we keep using Flail and it goes exactly as planned and we manage to finally take the win from Byron. This gym was definitely the biggest pain thus far, but we did it and it feels pretty good. Once we leave, Heinz greets us again and we are then tasked with exploring 3 lakes, and a bomb goes off whilst we're in the library. It's irony at its finest. We meet Commander Saturn at the lake and he monologues, but sure enough we get into a battle and it's not even close. We just use Tackle and his team just fall like a stack of dominoes. After the Steel Gym, this is actually a very welcome sight. Commander Saturn leaves, we follow behind and get to Lake Verity. Mars is watching for us and Dawn doesn't even really help, so we just one-shot Commander Mars's team, absolutely no problem. Professor Rowan says we need to go check on Heinz, so we play in the snow and it's absolutely lovely. But when we get to Snowpoint City, we go ahead and go to the 7th gym. It has a sliding puzzle, which isn't too bad, and then we face the Ice Gym leader, Candice. Up first is her Snowdon, and it goes down after 2 attacks. And then next up is Abomasnow, who gets a good wood hammer on us and deals heavy damage. But it works in our favour as Flail finishes it off. Next is Sneasel, which goes down in 1 hit, and the same happens with Medicham, winning us the battle with ease. That was pretty good, and now we've earned the 7th gym bash, so yay. We see Heinz defeated by Jupiter, so we decide to go and take the fight to Team Galactic. We find a grunt and he drops a storage key in front of us, so we grab it. Then we find the Galactic key, eventually we confront Cyrus and his team is very easy. We continuously just beat them down and it's really not a challenge. He then gives us a Master Ball and we go ahead and walk to the lab, and there's Commander Saturn who challenges us again. We beat him again and there's not a lot to say really, but we defeat him no problem. We then free the lake Pokemon and we're all good. Since Cyrus said he'll be at Mount Cornet and gave away his location, we decide to go to Spear Pillar. We battle Jupiter and Mars with Heinz Doofenshmirtz, so it's a tag battle, which is lovely. But our rival starts with Munchlax, which is okay, it's not ideal, but we decide to focus on Mars's Pokemon and blitz them as fast as possible so we can have a 1-on-2 against Jupiter. The battle's fairly long, we manage to knock Mars' Pokemon out, and then we do the same to Jupiter, winning us the battle, so that's that. Heinz then uses first ever invention called the Healinator to heal our Pokemon, which is really kind of him. Thank you, Heinz. We see Dialga create a new universe and the lake Pokemon put a stop to it, which is most excellent. However, Cyrus is now pissed and we have to fight him. First up is Honchkrow, and we keep using Tackle, and while Cyrus does use a Super Potion, we eventually do take it out, so that's 1 down, 3 to go. Next up is Crobat. It does use Confuse Ray on us, but we get lucky and get a critical hit and snap out of Confusion to take out the Crobat. We have the Pokemon I'm most worried about in Cyrus's party, which is Gyarados. It uses Earthquake and we keep tackling it, and in return it uses Giga Impact on us, which works to our advantage as we can use a extra Flail, which takes it out, and that was a very close one. Now for the last Pokemon, which is Weavile, and we use Flail. It uses its Citrus Berry, however we take some damage and are in the red, but we managed to get a critical hit, winning us the fight against Cyrus. That was pretty damn difficult, but we did win. After Cyrus is defeated, we use the Master Ball on Dialga. We catch it, everyone thinks we're amazing as we just used the Master Ball, so no biggie. But we go ahead and release Dialga as it's the right thing to do and he deserves to be happy. So yay. It's then time to head to Sunny Shore and we meet someone called Flint who meets us and wants us to beat the 8th gym leader. So we go ahead and we find our friendly gym leader in the lighthouse. He tells us if we fail he will challenge the Pokemon League. I think he's in for a big surprise. Anyway, we go through the gym and get to Volkner. We enter Magikarp at 5 HP, so our Flail is extremely powerful. We pretty much just sweep Volkner's team with ease, and afterwards Volkner says to go after the Pokemon League. And we go to the beach of Sunny Shore City and get the HM for Waterfall, so we can get to the Pokemon League in the first place. We managed to get to Victory Road, and the battles here are really tough. Not holding out much hope for the League if these battles are already as tough as they are, but we press on. We get to the Pokemon League and it's amazing Magikarp has made it this far, and we ascend the waterfall, get to the Pokemon League. Once inside, we get Heinz who decides he wants to barge in and give us a surprise match. Okay, so for this fight we set up a couple of X attacks and we managed to sweep Heinz's team. Thankfully it's pretty intense as his Torterra is a beast, but we managed to pull through the battle. And once the battle concludes, Heinz Doofenshmirtz says he's going to get stronger and probably go find a nice city to live in, and yeah, he's going to have fun inventing things in the future. Anyway, with all that aside, this is Magikarp and here's our stats. These stats are absolute garbage for any level 100 Pokemon, especially our attack. Our speed is actually not bad and our defense will have to suffice, so let's do this. Elite Four Aaron is up first. He possesses a huge problem with his first Pokemon, which is Dustox, because as soon as his Dustox uses Toxic and poisons us, the fight is essentially over. Anyway, to counter this, we use 3 X attacks, and since our health is very low from the damage it's doing, we manage to sweep Aaron's team with Flail. Not too bad actually, the first Elite Four member is defeated. Next up is the second Elite Four member, Bertha, the one I'm worried about most. She is a ground type Elite Four, so her attacks won't be as effective. However, we have a saving grace in her first Pokemon, which is Quagsire, that isn't a huge threat and plays defensively. We can use our items to set up to deal with Bertha's team, so we up our attack as high as it can go, and we also use some defensive items, and we just one-shot the Quagsire. Next up is Sudowoodo, who gets taken down easily enough and isn't too much of a problem. Same with the next on Bertha's team, but then we get the blockade that's stupidly difficult. However, luck is on our side and we one-shot the Golem with a single critical hit, which is amazing. Lastly is Wishcash, who we easily one-shot, and with that, the second Elite Four member is dealt with. Admittedly not as intended, but a win is a win, I guess. Now we have Flint, who we met at Sunny Shore, and he's a fire-type user, so this will be easy enough. We challenge him and don't heal our Magikarp, give it 1 X attack so we can sweep Flint's team. It goes well until Drifblim shows up. This is going to throw a major spanner in the works for us, as well as another Pokemon in the league. So we're going to have to plan specifically around these 2 Pokemon. We do have elixirs and a max elixir, so it can be done. However, we'll have to be very careful with our move usage and count it throughout the league. I never thought this would be a thing that we would do, but if it's possible, we'll give it a try. So we show up and we're on very low health and we set up our Flail. We only have 2, so the first Flail takes out Rapidash. We then do the same for Infernape. We're down 2, and now we can actually attack Drifblim with Struggle. However, Drifblim uses Baton Pass and Steelix comes out. We use Struggle, we get a critical hit, which is good. Drifblim then taunts us by coming back out, and we're going to have to cheese this, so we use a full restore. We use Struggle again, taking a good chunk of Drifblim's health, who also uses Will-O-Wisp, which is fantastic for us as we can use Struggle again, and we KO'd the Drifblim, thank goodness. But we're not out the woods yet, as Lopunny is Flint's last Pokemon. We use Struggle, and Lopunny uses Fire Punch, and we struggle again, and Lopunny is KO'd, allowing us to beat Flint, the only Elite Four member with Ghost Pokemon. So now there's only 1 left. We then meet Lucian and he starts with Mr. Mime, and once again we use a couple of X attacks and manage to take enough damage from Mr. Mime's Psychic, allowing us to one-shot it. We hit Medicham, he returns the favour by hitting us with a Fire Punch, which means we hit that much harder with Flail, knocking the Medicham out. We also heal up during the Giraffrig, and then we have a few exchanges, but eventually we knock Giraffrig out. Now for Bronzong, who's defeated us a lot in this fight and has ended our attempts a lot, and then we get lucky and get a crit, ending the fight, allowing us to get past the Elite Four. It's been a very long road and it's been a difficult and ridiculously unnecessary challenge, but we're here at the League Champion and we challenged Cynthia, and I thought Driflin was bad, but Spirit Tomb pretty much shuts us down. And it shuts us down hard. Anything we do, the Spirit Tomb can shut down. It has a move called Embargo, so we can't use items. And all of its attacks are special attacks that two-shot us. And it's also a ghost type, so we have to use Struggle on it, so we don't stand a chance. But just to be sure, we try 100 attempts, which play out the same each time. There's not even a single run we get it down to half HP, which means we can't do the run with Magikarp. But we did get to the final trainer and we were so close, so it will be a shame not to complete the run. So Heinz Doofenshmirtz finishes a project he calls the Trowinator, and much to Cynthia's dismay, we rock up with a Gyarados and we begin destroying her precious Spirit Tomb. But once that's done, we let Triple K take over and we set up with the battle items and heal when necessary against Gastrodon. We get reduced to very low health and then we do the unthinkable. We sweep Cynthia's team with a Magikarp, which gives us the win. We have Cynthia and Professor Rowan join us in the Hall of Fame with Heinz Gyarados and our humble Magikarp, who's come extremely far. Which answers the question, can you beat Generation 4 Pokemon with a Magikarp? And the answer is, unfortunately no, as Cynthia has a Spirit Tomb, but the long journey is now over. Well, that challenge was by far the most time-consuming and difficult one thus far. We did have to rely heavily on battle items from the 6th gym onwards, and it was extremely difficult and just so long. It was so difficult, but we got there in the end. Don't try this challenge, for the love of God, just don't do it. It's very, very difficult and very hard to do. But we have passed this milestone a while ago. I'm just very slow at making these videos between the regular content, and as of uploading this, we are close to 9k subs. So I've got a few more of these to upload, but in due time. I'll be totally honest, as a side note, this challenge has taken it out of me and we're going to go and resume the regular schedule. And our next video is Fallout 4, can you beat it with a double barrel shotgun? Anyway, I hope you're all doing well and that everything is excellent. And I just want to say thank you for watching the video. You're all amazing. You're all awesome. Like the video if you liked the video. Subscribe if you're new, and of course, have a marvellous day. I'm Insane Frame. I'll see you in the next one. I'm just now going to go and rest for a while, so I hope you don't mind. Anyway, see you in the next one. I hope you're all doing fantastic and you're all having a marvellous, marvellous day. Take care and have a good one.